Now, before we get into this next video, when you see the like button, smash on him. And make sure that you sub to the channel if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. Now, we all know that Triller has been the new talk of the town. You know, Triller is the new kid in school and everybody talking about Triller. Triller was supposed to have some big mega fights coming up. You know, we were supposed to get Mike Tyson versus Holyfield on Triller. I think that's what really got Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez to sign his contract to take his talents over to Triller because they was trying to put on a big mega card and have Teofimo Lopez on the same card as Mike Tyson and Holyfield. But since then, the Mike Tyson and Holyfield fight, that fell apart. Mike Tyson was very vocal about Triller, saying that he'll never work with them again because they didn't pay him all his money. Triller came out talking all of that big shit. They did huge pay-per-view numbers, supposedly. And Mike Tyson saying that they ain't paying him his back-end money, So he not fucking with him no more. Now, we all know that Teofimo Lopez, he has his defense of his titles coming up on June the 5th. That is on a Friday against George Kambosos Jr., his mandatory challenger for his belt, right? Now, Teofimo Lopez is the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA world champion at 135 pounds. And you could throw in that franchise championship belt, the WBC championship franchise belt, if you want to throw that in. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a made up belt, but it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Now, Teofimo Lopez, he signed on that dotted line and he was very vocal about how great Triller was treating him, how much they paying him. And Triller, they came through like a thief in the night and they swooped up that fight from the zone. They swooped it up for Top Rank, Teofimo Lopez's promoter, when they had to bid. Bob Arum, he wasn't so enthused about this fight that Teofimo Lopez chose to have against George Kambosos Jr. So, he let that shit go to purse bid. He bid on it. He didn't bid a lot on it, and Triller came through there and outbid everybody, including Eddie Hearn and DAZN, right? So fast forward, everybody was, excited about this because of the Holyfield and Tyson. Teofimo Lopez and his pops came out and they was talking big shit. They came out talking about, they gonna do over 2 million, 3 million pay-per-views easily because my son is a star, this, and that. But see, the whole time they had it in the back of their minds that, it's gonna do great pay-per-views. We're not saying why we saying it's gonna do 2 million, 3 million pay-per-views. But see, in the back of their head, they the whole time they thought Mike Tyson and Holyfield was gonna be on the card. Well, Mike Tyson and Holyfield are not on the card, right? You are going to have Holyfield on the card still, but Holyfield's fight don't hold no weight without him fighting Mike Tyson. Holyfield hasn't been in the limelight like that. And a lot of these new cats, a lot of these new, viewers that tune into Triller, they don't know who Evander Holyfield is like that. They don't really know Evander. They know Mike Tyson, but they don't really know Holyfield. And this is no dig on Holyfield because Holyfield is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I'm a much bigger Holyfield fan, always have been, than I was Mike Tyson. But that's a whole different story in itself. Now, like I said, everybody, Teofimo Lopez and his whole camp was banking on that Holyfield-Tyson fight. That fell through. So, then again, he's still getting his money from Triller. But now, Triller is been looking in some trouble, even more trouble. That's one strike for Triller, that Mike Tyson is very vocal about not fighting on Triller. He's telling people not to go and fight on Triller because they crooks. Now you've had this past Triller, right? You had Oscar De La Hoya allegedly show up to the fight, high off his ass on cocaine, high on cocaine. He was having some real animated antics that he was doing the color commentating that he was supposed to be doing. And everybody saw that Oscar De La Hoya was high as a kite. right? Now, Al Bernstein was supposed to be a part of Triller going forward. Al Bernstein was supposed to be one of the main color commentators. Now, Al Bernstein, right, has decided not to take his talents back to Triller because of the circus, because of Oscar De La Hoya showing up high on cocaine, and it's just not his cup of tea. So, he announced that he won't be returning to Triller. It's just not his thing. He's not going to be a part of something like that. And then we've been having reports that Triller, people been complaining, talking about it's a circus act and all of that. Now, we also had Dana White come out. Dana White came out and he was very vocal about Triller, talking about it's a circus act, that's not the type of shit that he likes to see, and that's not the type of things that they represent. A lot of boxing fans been complaining about Triller. They last card wasn't that good, and I'm gonna say that myself. The last Triller event was not that good. The whole card was kind of weak. The only thing that was entertaining is Jake Paul, but he only fought for a few seconds, and Regis Prograis. Other than that, the card was kind of weak. And Dana White actually came out and he said that they lied about the pay-per-view numbers. He said they did nowhere near 1 million pay-per-view numbers. He said that is a lie. But you could take that how you want to. Dana White might be hating. Dana White is a hater. He do hate on certain things at times, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Triller saying that they did these huge pay-per-view numbers, but Dana White saying that they did nowhere near those pay-per-view numbers. But this whole thing even gets worse because, as y'all seen recently, Floyd Mayweather just announced his ring return on June the 6th. That's the day after Teofimo Lopez in George Kambosos Jr. fight, right? That is the next day after. So who you think people gonna save their money to spend it on? People gonna spend their money to see Floyd Mayweather's ring return against Jake Paul's brother, Logan Paul, right? People gonna spend their money on that, and it ain't gonna be on Triller. That's the thing about it. I think they was trying to get, Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul to fight on Triller, but it ain't gonna happen on Triller. So who you think people gonna spend their money on? Because the majority of people, they ain't coming out of pocket 2 nights in a row for a pay-per-view event. So they gotta choose. They gotta choose when they gonna have who they gonna spend their money on. You dig? They gotta choose who they gonna spend their money on. And the majority of the people, they gonna choose to spend their money to see Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul. So this thing is looking real ugly for Triller. Now, with all of this said, right, also boxing fans have been complaining about Triller. Diehard boxing fans and even some casual boxing fans, they come to see boxing, right? They don't come to see, 2 hours worth of concerts, 2 hours worth of musical performances. If you want to see that many musical performances, you can go on YouTube and watch concerts, So a lot of fight fans, they don't want to see that. And it was cool at first, but now a lot of fight fans been complaining about they just overdoing it with all these music performances. People come to see these fights. They don't come to see full-blown concerts. So, Triller is starting to look bad. It's starting to go on the downtrend really fast. You feel what I'm saying? It's they in trouble. Triller's in a lot of trouble. You got people leaving the company already before they even really started up. They ain't even really got started, and they already got mega big names, advocating against Triller and leaving. And then what Oscar De La Hoya just did this past Triller card, it just made him look bad. It didn't make it look any better. This man show up allegedly high off his ass on cocaine, tripping, just tripping. And everybody noticed that. And the real professionals out there in the boxing world, in the world combat sports world, they calling this Triller a circus. And we've all seen, right, in the past, promotional companies like Triller, try to make their way, by doing things different, by being outrageous. And it never works out. It just don't never work out. WWE is its own entity. WWE can do outrageous things because that's what they are. sports entertainment. You know, they've been doing that shit for 70 plus years, you know, before it was even WWE. That's what wrestling is, but you can't try to come in boxing and change the game. You know, people are used to what they used to seeing, right? Boxing fans want to get boxing. They want to get the best fights. They want to get tough fights. And it's not panning out for Triller. You know, like I said, Triller is falling apart slowly but surely. Now, I like the whole concept of Triller. The first fight card that they put on, how they put it together, it was cool. I liked it. You know, they put on some good fights. It wasn't boring at all, and they showed out, you know. But this last one, they just went overboard. So I think Triller, they still, you know, they still got their motherfucking ankles in the water. They ain't knee deep. They not head deep in the water, in the ocean yet. You know, they still trying to find their way. They still trying to figure it out. But they better figure it out real fast, because boxing fans' attention span is really, really short. The attention span of a boxing fan is real short. So you better figure it out real fast. And you making consumers pay for this. You feel what I'm saying? You making consumers pay for these pay-per-views, and they ain't gonna be paying for long if you keep on with the bullshit, you know. So, and also Triller, they don't have fights signed to their company. They don't have fighters signed to their company. So they got to figure out what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna try to get real professional fighters to come over to their platform and have the best fighting the best? Or are they just gonna have, you know, these YouTube personalities and these celebrities fighting each other? We don't know. I'm not hating on Triller, but like I said, they need to get it together fast. And they next event is gonna tell y'all a lot. They next event cannot afford to flop, right? You got Teofimo Lopez, but in my opinion, people are not going to pay to see Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos Jr. George Kambosos Jr. name don't hold no weight. You feel what I'm saying? His name don't hold no weight. That's why Bob Arum didn't want to put no money into a George Kambosos Jr. and a Teofimo Lopez fight. Bob Arum was pissed off about Teofimo Lopez voluntarily making that fight, because it was they came out and they let it be known that Teofimo Lopez didn't have to go fight George Kambosos Jr. They was giving Teofimo Lopez an option, right, of taking a voluntary fight before he had this mandatory bout. But he decided that he wanted to take this mandatory bout, and you know, he got paid good for it. So, you know, at the end of the day, if Teofimo Lopez ends up getting all his money from Triller like he's supposed to, right, he gonna come out winning, you know. But he still got to go over and fuck with Top Rank, because he still got 3 years left on his contract with Top Rank, right? So he just got to make sure they pay him all his money, because Tyson is a way bigger name than Teofimo Lopez, and Mike Tyson swearing up and down they ain't pay him all his money. They still owe him a whole lot of money. I haven't heard nothing from Roy Jones Jr., so I guess obviously he got paid, but I don't know what's going on with the Tyson situation. You know what I'm talking about? And then also Tyson said that they used his name to promote the company, right? A lot of people, when Triller came out with that first event, a lot of people thought that Mike Tyson was basically a brand ambassador for Triller. They thought that Mike Tyson was one of the main guys that was gonna be in business with Triller. And Mike Tyson, he was pissed off about that, because he said that they used his name to sell the events. You know, that they used his name, that he was just working with them for, you know, on a fight by fight basis, or that one fight, you know, if they got the business right. But they was using his name, putting his face on the Triller, but he's not in business with them like that, right? So he let that be known. So you know, a lot of people in the boxing community, the boxing world, these promoters, these fighters, they're gonna start, you know, looking up on this info, and they're gonna shy away from Triller. And like I said, that last event that they put on, it wasn't a good look for them. You know what I'm saying? Triller got to get it together, but you know, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing what Triller does in the future, and if Triller stay around. Let me know if y'all think that Triller is here to stay, and let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Like I said, Al Bernstein leaving the Triller, you know, a lot of backlash because Oscar De La Hoya, you know, came out supposedly high on cocaine. And what y'all think about this whole situation? Leave a comment and let me know what y'all think. I'm out.